Hey, Facebook friends, YouTube subscribers, leaving. See if you can tell where I am. I'll give you 2 seconds. Nope, Cosmo. Leaving the Cosmo. I planned on going to 2 places tonight and reviewing. Let me straighten this camera out. And reviewing 2 of them. I went to New York, and to my surprise, there wasn't a parking spot to be had there. I must have hung out and stalked people walking to cars for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes or so. The New York parking was absolutely slammed. So I bailed on that and went to plan B, which was the Cosmo. So take a ride down the strip with me. I'll tell you about the Cosmo. Cosmo's a Cosmo. It had people there. There was a good vibe as far as temperature checks. I'll reiterate what I said yesterday. There are no temperature checks at the MGM properties. They do temperature checks only if you are actually checking into the hotel. Other than that, you're on your own. You walk in. The parking over there was equally tough. That took about 15 to 20 minutes to actually find a parking spot. And to be perfectly honest, the Cosmo self-parking always creeps me out driving down into the belly of the beast. But I did it. I got a pretty good parking spot. I stalked someone coming out. They were basically right outside, so that went smooth after hanging out for 20 minutes. But as far as the property goes, it's got a lot of life. Obviously, the people aren't exactly back yet. I don't know who these people are. Maybe Californians, maybe a lot of locals who couldn't wait to get out. The vibe was typical of the Cosmo. It's a younger crowd. It's a vibrant crowd. What I saw as far as mask wearing goes, the strictest so far, not in terms of the property, but in terms of people's behavior, has been the Bellagio, because they actually stand there with an EMT with, the badges and the buckles and the whole 9 yards, and they sit there with one handful of masks, the other handful of rubber gloves. Cosmo, not so much. You walk in, you walk out, you do what you got to do. I actually tried to pick up a mask for another purpose, and I couldn't find any masks there. Didn't find any hand washing stations like they had at the Bellagio. So it's pretty much business as usual in terms of social distancing. You people who are still big into the social distancing and the mask wearing might not want to go to the Cosmo quite yet. Craps tables were definitely banging. I mean, I saw craps tables with 9 people at them easy. I'm sure if you go as a group, they don't separate you or anything. So I don't know. I saw a lot of people. I didn't see a whole bunch of social distancing. It's not a knock on them. I just think people are over it. Didn't see any hand washing stations. There are definitely a few more hand sanitizer stations. I didn't see as many marks on the floor as where to stand when you're around the cashier. The restaurants are starting to come to life. I went to the 2nd floor, went to the 3rd floor. Some of the retail businesses are open, some are not. The restaurants that are opening seem like they're doing a better bar business than they are an entree business at this point, which is to be expected. And overall, the experience was good. I was able to take a lot of video. I did my thing. I'm not going to explain how I do it, but I did take a lot of video, so stay tuned for that tomorrow. But overall, the experience was good. That opening vibe is kind of gone, which is disappointing. The opening vibe that I had at the Wynn and at Palazzo and at the Venetian, where everyone was clapping and jumping up and down, yay, Vegas baby, not so much anymore. It's kind of business as usual, but it was good to return there. They did look like they had some check-ins. You'll see it on the video tomorrow. I saw, 4 people online actually checking in. I mean, granted, it is a Monday, so it's to be expected. I'm going to turn around. I figured I'd just give you a shot at the beautiful Luxor and Mandalay Bay all lit up. So I hope you're enjoying that, but I'm going to spin around and head home. Other than that, if you have any questions, if you want to recommend a property that you would like to see next, I'm going to try to do 1 or 2 every night until basically the thrill wears off, which it hasn't for me. The thrill of Vegas never wears off for me. I'm just happy to be in Vegas. Lady luck, baby. But I do want to get to them all to see their specific opening procedures. And even within the same company, MGM properties, they're all doing it differently. The Bellagio actually had police inside. They had motorcycle cops at every entrance. Which, you know, you don't necessarily want to see cops when you're coming to hang out, but I understand their position. They want to keep things peaceful. I'm not sure how that works here. I know they have to pay overtime salary for the officers to be there. But the Bellagio so far has been the only place that I saw a police presence actually inside. And each property is sort of, you know, they have their structure in place. The bathrooms were clean. They were not separated like the Palazzo and the Venetian were, where there was actually partitions in between the sinks. I mean, obviously in the men's room, I don't know about the ladies' room. Obviously, that's already partitioned off. But each property seems to be going with the flow and adapting their own protocols. I wouldn't say some of them are out the window, but it's just so hard to police. You know, in the Bellagio, they physically turned off every other machine. Just now in the Cosmo, I didn't see that. I saw some instances of it where there were some banks that had the center machine turned off, but overall, they were all on. I saw the staff at the Cosmo being a little more diligent than the other properties in terms of washing. I saw, you know, one person would stand up, someone would come over and clean the machine. That's a first. I have not seen that in any of the other properties yet. You know, so if you fear the cooties, bring some hand sanitizer, use some hand sanitizer. But, excuse me, if you are, what's going on with this light? Holy shit. Anyway, if you are a person still concerned about social distancing, if you're still concerned about masks, God bless you, but the Bellagio is definitely the place for you, because that proportionately, I'd say 70% of the people are wearing masks, 30% are not. Here, I would say maybe 30% of the people were and 70% were not. So if that's a concern to you, the Bellagio is your joint. If you, like I said, if you want to recommend a place for me to go, I will be, obviously I'm driving now, so I'm not going to check comments, but I will check my comments when I get back. And if you want me to go somewhere, go see something, I'm thinking I want to see where we're going to pass right now. I think I want to see the MGM's. Never been my absolute favorite place to be. I don't do a lot of shoots there, but I still like the property. It's a big property, and I'd like to see how they're handling it. And I would like to see, I want to go back to the New York, but like I said, I couldn't even find a parking spot in that place. It was absolutely slammed. And I drove around, I looked at license plates, and most of them were Nevada license plates. So that place was definitely full of locals. Of course, I'm going to hit them all one by one, and then I'm going to do it again. I'm specifically going to do the Wynn, the Venetian, and the Palazzo again, because I want to see if their happy-go-lucky, friendly, thank God you're back type of vibe is still holding true, or whether that was just a flash in the pan. That's my personal curiosity. I like those properties, do a lot of business with those properties. I shoot a lot at those properties, so I want to see how they're going to do it. And while we're speaking about the Wynn is doing a free night stay for all first responders. So all you have to do, if you're a first responder, whereas the Venetian, that is all for all essential employees can get a free night at the Venetian. Just go to venetian.com/offers, go to thewin.com/offers, and you'll find the first responder page. So if you're a first responder, family of a first responder, you get a free night at the Wynn. If you're an essential worker, you can get a free night at the Venetian. I believe the Venetian deal goes to, you have to book the room by June 30th. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's June 30th. You have another 3 weeks to get your deal. I think this deal at the Wynn for first responders goes also until the end of the month. Don't quote me on that. Do your due diligence. Don't wait. Go book. So I think that's an awesome thing. So if you want a little staycation, or if you're coming in from out of town, I'm sure there's, restrictions apply. Probably not Friday and Saturday. There's probably some blackouts, but hey, it's a free night at the Wynn. It's a free night at the Venetian, a free night at the Palazzo. So go for it. I was also told, someone brought to my attention that the free night at the Venetian and Palazzo, I know a lot of people in the real estate game, and that was not on their list for getting the free room. So if you're a real estate agent, yes, you were considered essential, you were allowed to work, but unfortunately and sadly in their eyes, you don't get your free night. So that is the deal. If you want to stick with me, I'm going to cruise right up here. The Paris has been lit up. And they, there's actually the restaurants outside, the street side restaurants have been open. I'm not sure how they're getting in there. I'm sure from the front door, and then you're, kind of ushered in because you can't set foot on the casino floor. But hopefully they're getting set to open. But I know the restaurants are open. Everything else is fenced off. Miracle Mile, which we're passing right now, the stores connected to Planet Hollywood, they're set to open, I believe, on the 10th. And I'm going to do a walkthrough of that. Now we're going to pass right here. We're passing Paris. See, there's still people in there. There's not as much foot traffic on the strip. We just passed the Bellagio to the left. I would say it's probably about 300 to 500 people getting ready to enjoy the show over there. And one day I'll do that too. Bally's is not open. Flamingo is open. Paris and Bally's, obviously they're two joint properties if you're familiar with them, so they'll open jointly unless they're gonna, what's this guy doing? Hey dude. They'll probably open jointly upon demand like the rest of them. When there's demand, they'll definitely go ahead and open. So I am going to, matter of fact, I'm gonna make this turn right here. So I appreciate everyone who's joined me. I appreciate everyone who's been following me for the past 2 months. I appreciate all the time you spent with me. I appreciate all your feedback, and I appreciate all you as people and as my friends. And I'm grateful and I'm thankful that I could have done this for you and reported the way I have, and I'm going to continue to do it. A lot of you don't know, I do have a background in radio. I had my own radio show for a number of years based here in Vegas. That's a topic for another conversation, but this has re-sparked an interest of mine of broadcasting, a little bit of soapboxing, and basically getting the word out. Obviously, I'm very opinionated, and you'll hear my opinion, but you'll hear my facts first. I'll hit you with the facts and then give you my opinion on them in that order. And I do appreciate each and every one of you. Hope you're having an absolute wonderful night. I wish you the absolute best week possible. And on that note, Bror Fredrik out.